Bankert, 17 minutes past the hour right now. We've been following the latest on NATO's invitation to both Finland and Sweden to join the alliance. This is Russian President Vladimir Putin has publicly expressed his disapproval, to say the least. Over the past couple of months, both nations expressing their interest in joining NATO. Finland shares an 830-mile border with Russia. Right now, we are joined by Ambassador Hautala. I hope I'm saying your name right. Mikko Hautala. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, and good morning from Washington, D.C.
You know, I have a question for you. Are you threatened at all? Is there fear in Finland after Vladimir Putin's open expression that this is something that he will retaliate over?
I think most of the Finns are now having their summer holidays in their summer houses and on the lakeside. So there's no panic in Finland whatsoever. We've been discussing with the Russians about this for a number of years, actually. And I think what Putin, President of Russia, has said recently is actually fully in line with what the Russians have always said. They have said that they do not like Finland acceding to NATO, but at the same time, he has also said just recently that they don't see the Finnish accession as a threat to Russia.
You know, it's interesting because Finland has such a beautiful reputation of being a peaceful country, of being a country of very happy people. I mentioned that on Thursday as the president spoke from Madrid. But joining NATO, do you think that changes the world's perception?
I don't think so. I think we are joining the NATO just because of that. We want to stay the happiest nation on earth, even in the future. So I don't see that changing. Of course, Finland is and continues to be a peace-loving nation, and I think the NATO membership is one tool to stay like that.
But do you think that that's going to antagonize Russia? Clearly, one of the reasons why they invaded Ukraine was because of a threat of Ukraine joining the EU or NATO as part of the alliance, as part of the Western Front. What do you think the message is to Russia that Finland and Sweden want to join as well?
I think the message to Russia is clear. I think one of the reasons why Finland and I think also Sweden are joining is the fact that Russia started illegal, unprovoked attack on Ukraine. And this, of course, caused also us to reconsider the risks in the neighborhood. I don't think our attitude towards anybody, including Russia, has changed in the sense that we would be more aggressive or more negative. I think it's mainly because we want to defend ourselves and we want to maintain our own high level of security. This is also something I'm totally convinced the Russians do understand.
One more question for you from President Biden's speech, his news conference on Thursday. He spoke saying that Putin was looking for the Finlandization of Europe. He's going to get the NATOization of Europe. I believe it was actually the Finlandization of NATO. And instead, he was going to get the NATOization of Finland. I want to make sure that I'm quoting him correctly so we can lose that graphic, guys. I remember distinctly that he was talking about your country and saying that you all have been NATOized. What did you think of the president's comments?
Well, I think he's correct. We are being NATOized. I don't know if that kind of a word even existing in the English language, but
right.
we are acceding. We hope to join formally very soon. We also hope that the ratification process will go on smoothly, and this is our expectation. So I think he's totally correct. We are joining, and in that sense, we are being NATOized.
What is your perception of the U.S.?
My perception is that we have received a very strong, clear support from the administration, also from the Congress. So it's been a great cooperation all along the way. And I have to say that my assessment is that the relations between Finland and the US are the best they have ever been. They've never been bad, they've always been good, but I think we are now at the peak, at the new level that we have never seen before.
Ambassador Hautala, thank you so much for being with us and joining us from D.C. We appreciate your time. Now to the national debate. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.